All right. Well, good morning, everyone. A happy September. I hope we're all enjoying the fair, rodeo, all the fun activities that come descend upon us at this time. I love the cattle drive. That was a blast last week. Uh, I'm really excited about what we've lined up, kind of teed up rather late, in the game here for today. Well, first of all, I'll announce that County Councilman Paul Herrera was going to be our guest so that we can acclimate him, hear a little bit about his background, and obviously just he's already such a great ally of our Puyallup Sumner community anyway. So we're very lucky that he was appointed to replace County Councilman Hans Zeiger. So he will be here next week. There were some flight changes, so he couldn't make it this morning. So I gave some thought to what some of the work our Economic Development Committee has been doing in the economic development space, attracting, retaining, helping businesses expand. Meredith and I sat on a panel where grants were awarded from the city of Sumner for small businesses to open tasting rooms, beer and wine, also a commissary kitchen and into some retailers. So we really, loved that idea. I know that Puyallup's looking at doing something similar as well. So I thought with all these new businesses that are setting their sights on our great community, why don't we tee up a few of those folks and bring them on to our GAC meeting this morning so we can hear from them and hear, a little bit of why they targeted and just share with us what their business is so that we can be very supportive and welcome them to the community with warm arms. So Krista Linden, some of you may or may not know, she'll be logging on, I think, closer to 8:15. But she has a bakery cafe and another smaller event site that she's opening on her site. And boy, it feels like it just popped up overnight. So she'll tell us about that. We have Jolene Jones, who's going to be representing herself and her husband with one business, and then also another business that I think we've all been watching pop up across from the Old Cannery. So we'll, talk to her. We have Ana Armas-Rullan. Again, just a great introduction that Meredith made to me yesterday. I've been hearing about Red Dot Manufacturing coming to town, so she'll be here as well. I'm really bummed that Cat and Rabbit couldn't be here because boy, have they created a buzz in Tacoma with their long lines for their bakery. They really hope to be here at a next meeting. So that's just a few folks that we have. We also have our, representatives. I see Senator Gildon and Representative Jacobson, Mayor Johnson, Meredith Neal that's on that we'll hear from, county, state, and city. I know that Ryan Windish cannot be here, so I'm going to tee you up, Miss Lana Hoover, at some point because I see you're logged on. So anyway, that's just a quick rundown of what we've got going on today. I also see our friend from the port. So, well, without further ado, welcome, good morning. And how about if we just kick right into Jolene? I don't know if you mind if I put you on the spot, but why don't you go ahead and tell us about the two exciting projects you're involved with in Sumner?
Great. Thanks, Tara. Good morning, everybody. Exciting to be here. Thanks for asking me to join and talk about two restaurants coming to Sumner that we're really excited about. I'll start with the Oxbow, which is the two-story, it's a 5,000 square foot restaurant right along the Stuck River across from the Old Cannery. And it's actually in the footprint of the previous bridge, which was replaced. So that's a really exciting project. Our construction company has had the pleasure of building that project. It's a mass timber construction type CLT. As far as we know, the first one built in Sumner. So the Oxbow Urban Kitchen is going in there. I think the website is oxbowurbankitchen.com. You'll see elevated food there, a really great atmosphere, outdoor patio seating, really exciting for the community.
That's really great.
And then on the other side of the downtown on Wood Avenue, kitty corner from Dairy Freeze and behind the Day and Night Grocery, if you're familiar with Sumner, we are renovating the old teriyaki house, and it will be a new concept. It's going to be a full service not full service. It's going to be a full restaurant. We will not have table service, but it'll be a restaurant and tap house, serving, the Sumner community. And really, these two projects flank the downtown. The city went through an extensive planning process a couple of years ago, and changed the zoning for the town center and created this opportunity for increased density and increasing multifamily housing. We've seen that be very successful, and several apartments are queued up to come online. And so it just made good sense to have more restaurants in the area to support the increase in visitors and residents of Sumner.
I'm really excited about that. I know I got to walk through Oxbow, and I don't know if you just mentioned that as well, but those are our friends out at Toscano's that are part of, behind that opening. And they'll have a great event space up above. And again, when we talk about just convening, about 100 people, we're lacking some of that kind of space. So as a chamber who does a lot of events and loves to, for our members to have places to celebrate and or meet, I think that'll be another great space for that. And then I got to see the renderings of your tap house, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. It looks like it's dog friendly too, I'm hoping.
It is. Absolutely. We're creating an outdoor covered patio. That'll be a new structure at the front of the building, and it will be dog friendly and, hopefully thinking ahead to kind of pandemic proof. We'll have indoor and outdoor seating.
Great. I love it. Well, any questions for Jolene about that project? All right. Well, we're excited. Is Oxbow possibly the end of the year? Is that what we're hearing? I'm trying to remember what Doug was anticipating, but
yeah, there's, I think around there, they're working on interiors right now. So it's coming, and this is where it starts coming together rather quickly at this point, when you start bringing the construction inside and start working on interior finishes and things like that. So I know that that's the hope.
Wonderful. Well, I'm really, really excited about that. I appreciate you being here to talk about it. Sure. Last minute, of course. Yeah. All right. Well, Anna, how about if I tap you out, if that's okay? Welcome. Nice to meet you. It's the first time she and I are meeting, but I hope you come stop by our chamber office so we can talk to you about all the resources we want to do to get behind you. So good morning. And yeah, go ahead and let's hear a little bit about your business.
Well, first and foremost, I'm grateful, for the invite. And we started taking notes about this Oxford thing. Okay, hold on. There's some stuff that I can share with folks. So my name's Anna. I'm the HR director for the Red Dot Corporation. So we are moving our headquarters. So our global headquarters will be moving to Puyallup. We're currently in Tukwila, Washington, and we're going to be right off of Main Street. I think it's Main Street or Main Avenue. Again, completely new to the area, so I'm here to learn as well. According to the city of Puyallup, we're going to be one of the top 10 employers coming into the city. We currently have about 400 employees here. Of course, we are actually at the Puyallup Fair. We're not selling anything. We're trying to recruit for people to work for us. So in addition to eating scones, we're telling people we've got a whole lot of openings. What that comes with, of course, is, a lot of, we chose Puyallup mainly because we have a lot of staff that live in Pierce County. If it's not South King County, that Auburn area, this Auburn, Sumner, Puyallup, Eatonville area. But I have to admit that, of course, when you commute, a lot of your time in life is taken up here in the city of Tukwila because they work 4/10s, typically, and a lot of overtime because of our business being so busy. So we're getting a lot of folks asking, what's Puyallup? What's in Puyallup? What's the closest Starbucks? We've got people talking about this Fat Zach's Pizza that so we are actually a manufacturer of heavy duty HVAC systems is what our business does. So if you ever see your ambulances, your fire trucks, or your garbage, folks who pick up your garbage, more than likely there's a Red Dot unit in that vehicle. So some of our biggest contracts are, Caterpillar, John Deere, and quite a bit of military contracts. So we've decided that we want to be in one big location, since right now in Tukwila we have two separate ones. We believe that this new place, the layout's beautiful. There's a local coffee stand right across the street. I gotta make my way over there to introduce myself. But we are excited to immerse ourselves in the city of Puyallup, and kind of our first stab at it is being at the fair, giving away stuff, letting people know we're coming to town.
Anna, you're smart. You're smart. I like it.
So, again, any type of, for those who have businesses on here, I'll be taking notes, so that I can share that with our staff. Again, I got 400 employees, and it's basically, it's supposed to be a 5-day-a-week business, but we do have all shifts. So really, it's kind of a 7-day-a-week, 24-hour-a-day manufacturing, shipping, receiving company. So, I'd love to be able to refer our employees to your businesses for those who have businesses, and, and if you've got looks like some spaces where we can have holiday parties and all that, I'm going to be writing that down.
Well, you will love the chamber community. Again, I think it's such a great community that shows out for one another. And pretty soon your employees, instead of going to Google, they'll go to their chamber app to look for services. That's just what we do here. We all just exchange goods and wrap our big wraparound community here to help each other. Have you tapped into the Workforce Central as far as any of their labor force?
I have not. I just went ahead and with Meredith, and we're going to probably do like an email introduction, so I can go ahead and chat with them. Again, I'm the first to admit I've been working in King County or in Snohomish County, so Pierce is a little bit new to me. So I'm kind of, if it's not on LinkedIn, someone asking me, "Hey, you're moving out here, come and see." It's like, "Oh, okay."
Yes.
I hope, again, please don't take it, personally. If you see I'm not looking directly at you, I literally have a pen taking notes of all of
again, you're being a great student. I agree. And you've got some great stakeholders here on this call. You will see. I can connect you with Shelley Willis, who is with Workforce Central. She's on our board of directors. They have a ribbon cutting today at 10 a.m. with a new facility, a new satellite hub that'll be at the South Hill Mall.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming you're in Tukwila right now, so it might be a little tight for you to get there at 10 a.m. because really that is what they do. Anything you need in the way of labor, and they can tap into a large database of workers. They also can train. So they have federal grants that can help level up any of your current employees that may want to go to that next level if there's a specific training, even CDL licenses. So there's just a lot of free services that this organization can help you with. So I will immediately connect you with that as well after this call. So hey, well, I'm gonna make sure. Have you met Mayor Johnson? I'm gonna make that introduction right now because I know he will want to welcome you to the community, right, Mayor?
Well, absolutely. In fact, I've already shot her a little chat text there to introduce and welcome to set up a meeting with her. So it's already in motion.
I see that. I appreciate all of you guys, chatting with me. And I'm, again, frantically writing it down because I'm just like, I don't want to lose this chat. Hold on just a second.
Well, that's great. Again, you're going to feel a little overwhelmed by this community, I bet, and all in a great way. We're very excited to hear that you're coming. I'm going to invite you to our Economic Development Committee, one of our future meetings, just so you can, talk to them directly too, because we're very keen on why people are choosing Puyallup and really wanting to make sure that we understand how that process went for them. Just getting in front of what can we do to roll out the red carpet to more businesses like you. So you'll be a great sort of case example to kind of learn from and understand just all of the reasons behind your decision. So I hope you'll be okay with that.
You know what? Like I said, I'm game for anything, guys. I'm very excited.
Well, terrific. I need to pop here and look at my participants to see if Krista has logged on. I'm not sure yet. If you are there, Krista, go ahead and say hello. I also am excited, again, very last minute, thanks to Meredith. I also have, I think, Heidi Keen or Kine, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but she too has set her sights on Puyallup with an ice cream store and has agreed to hop on even though she's in the car driving right now. So we'll, maybe hear from one of them if they are able to announce themselves, because I'm not sure that I see anyone at the moment. And while we're waiting, first, any other questions for Ana? All right, well then why don't we go ahead and we'll touch base with our city folks and our senator and House representative while we wait for the others. We'll kind of do a little bouncing around this morning. So I'm not sure who wants to start. If Mayor Johnson, and any updates you'd like to provide. You've been active. I've seen you everywhere, and I just love all that you're doing, and the energy that's in City Council right now is fantastic. We also have City Councilman Dennis King on the line. So I guess I'll in tandem point to both of you for any updates.
Councilmember King, why don't you kick it off?
Good delegating. I like that. See, a leader.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. Great morning here with everybody. Here at the City of Puyallup, we're just continuing to work on our planning division and permits area. We are sending over our group downstairs to Eastern Washington to meet with another jurisdiction to see how they run their operations, to see how we can speed up our permit processes here in our city. They do a pretty bang up job over on the east side. And so here in the next few weeks or days, our group downstairs is going to make a field trip, from what I understand, over there to see how they do their operations and procedures, to see how we can improve here in our city to speed up permit processes, lower fees to our builders, which then get passed on to the home buyers. So that's one of the biggest updates that I have for you, and I'm going to kick it back over to the mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember King. Appreciate that. A couple of things I wanted to share. Thanks, Tara, for all your leadership on running the chamber and really stimulating some momentum and synergy. Certainly, we can feel that and sense that, and know that it's doing some good things. We want to support that and continue to build that into a stronger force for good. Some of the things on my mind and heart lately, and I just want to put it out there to create synergy as well around this. I believe there's an opportunity for us in our city and in the region here to become more intentional with what I call kind of aggressive collaboration, not just being idly by and hope we get collaboration, but really being intentional on what can we do to build collaboration in a way that's going to draw more stimulated business and economic development. Here at the city, I know that we have kind of a default, unsaid approach, but I'd like to form an entourage of stakeholders such as the chamber and maybe some city staff and economic development folks to recruit businesses, much like Red Dot here, right? There's probably other ones that want to come and move in our city or move in the area. And for example, what is the city of Puyallup doing to not just hope they come in and they choose us, but are we seeking them out and being the kind of the pursuer rather than waiting for people to come to us, right? So are we being aggressive in pursuing opportunities to draw in companies that may like to relocate here because we're a great city and we're growing and we're vibrant? So I feel like that's one area that, in my opinion, that the city of Puyallup is lacking and has, I think, opportunity to be more intentional. So I'd like to see us build this entourage and then go out and fly out to wherever the headquarters at. Could be in Texas, could be in Oklahoma, could be in California. And what are we doing to recruit and say, hey, this is a great place to come and build shop. So we want to do that. The other thing I was thinking too is there's a sense of optimism as we look at the economy and how difficult this is for a lot of people. I believe that we have opportunity to find optimism in the midst of that. I think you see pockets during hard times where people still succeed. So I don't want to give in to this negativity that we're all doomed. Certainly we have to fight harder and work harder, but we're not doomed to be failures to this kind of culture we're seeing going on of difficult times of inflation and unrest. And then lastly, I would say, we're really good at engaging service clubs. You get all these service clubs, the Rotaries and Lions and all these folks that are in our area. There's one service club that I think we need to be intentional in reaching out and engaging, because they're often forgot about or neglected because of concerns of political whatever. But there's one huge service club that really is designed to serve at high levels, and that's our faith-based community and churches. What are we doing to engage those folks as part of a holistic health of our city, to recognize they play a huge role? And I think they're kind of, we know they're out there, but are we engaging them in a way that I think is leveraged like we would any other service club? So I want to break that taboo and start hitting that hard and recognizing they play a huge role in our community, and engage them, the pastors and the congregations, in the level that will really bring some health to our city. So kind of a snapshot of some thoughts on that, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks, Kara.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you both. I'm really excited. Mayor Johnson and Councilman Dennis King will be joining us on our very first City to City. That is a tour where we have, I think, almost 20 of you stakeholders that are heading to Gilbert, Arizona. Gilbert, Arizona has turned themselves from the hay capital of the world to a thriving and bustling little area outside of Phoenix with a lot of cool culinary delights and attractions. They're a tourism driver. There's a lot to learn. We'll be meeting with their town mayor, their manager, their economic development department. I mean, they are just putting such a great lineup up. So this is our first year. It's not too late to sign up if anyone wants to know any more. We'll be leaving October 2nd through the 5th. Again, Representative Chambers, Representative Robertson are coming. We've got Workforce Central, Sloan Clack, a lot of our board members, Sean Broback, twisting Krista Linden's arm for a day and a half appearance, possibly. I'm hoping that works out. And I do see you right now. So thank you so much. I know you have a small window of time. So let's go back to the part of our agenda where we're talking to these businesses that are expanding or are coming to Puyallup and learn a little bit about their ventures. Good morning, Krista.
Well, good morning. Tara asked me to talk a little bit about the building that has been under renovation on the Jermaine Coram site, Farm 12. And we are probably out by October 16th, we're going to be opening what we're calling our FIKA coffee shop. The reason that we're doing that is because our coffee and pastries have kind of exploded in the restaurant, and they cause a huge bottleneck. And if you've been there on a brunch day, you know how busy and insane it can get. And so we're going to be taking those out. And I've always wanted in purchasing that farm for people to be able to sit and enjoy the farm and not feel so rushed as sometimes you can feel when you're in the restaurant. So we are opening up FIKA, and FIKA is a Swedish word for taking a pause in the day to have coffee and a bite to eat with people that you care about. And so we are going to be having FIKA hours all the time in our FIKA coffee shop. And we'll also be offering a lot of things that are for the trail runners and bikers, healthy snacks and things to go, as well as fresh breads and things like that. So half of that building will be our FIKA coffee shop from, I think, 6 a.m. until about 2. And then we will be transitioning that space to be a smaller event space for parties of 25 to 75. If you've been to our big event hall, it's intended more for 150 to 300 people. And it feels really big when you have a smaller party in there. And we get tons of requests for baby showers, bridal showers, corporate events, things like that. So we are going to transition that space in the afternoon and evenings, 7 days a week for those smaller parties. On the other half of the building, it will be our banquet kitchen. Our banquets have exploded as well, and we are so incredibly cramped in our current Farm 12 kitchen that we really need that space for our banquets. And it will also become our bakery. Our current bakery has been doing about $12,000 to $15,000 a week in pastry sales, and they are operating out of 300 square feet currently. So that's what the other half of that building will be for. So We hope to get our occupancy permit here. Councilman King, I am so happy to hear of your announcement. Would be very pleased to see some progress in that area. But we should be getting the occupancy permit in the next week or so, and then we will spend a month training in the new menu and opening hopefully mid-October.
Oh, fantastic. Well, gosh, what a way to just respond to your growing demand. And it's just such a beautiful ecosystem that you've created out there that's serving the community in so many ways. Any questions for Krista? I'm really excited about this.
Tara, I have a question. I'm panicked now. You're not going to get rid of the other coffee shop until you get the new one, right?
Well, that is the big question. I mean, no, we won't get rid of it until we transition into the new space, but I don't know what kind of coffee we're going to be offering during brunch. We are talking about just doing really finer pour over coffee and not offering all this, like you would have to kind of stop at the coffee shop on your way into brunch to get that kind of specialty coffee. But if you saw what our baristas have to put out in a brunch shift, it would blow your mind. And it is so stressful, and it really causes a bottleneck there. So we probably will just be serving like a pour over coffee, but we will still have our cakes available over there. We'll just be and our desserts, we'll just be moving kind of the pastries over.
Yeah, black coffee will do on my way back from a run.
Yes. Yes, you will definitely have coffee, no doubt.
Nice. Well, I love the name and the Swedish heritage and all that you're bringing in. Again, it's just all meant to be and such a beautiful space. So congratulations. And I appreciate you being here so last minute. I know you have a small window, so no problem popping off, but thanks again for being here.
I do. Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right. Well, let's kind of continue back. Let's wrap up, I think, back to the city of Puyallup. Meredith Neal, hello. Good morning. Thanks for all the great connections. She's a big part of why some of these folks showed up last minute.
So let's see. We have a number of exciting new projects in our downtown area. So as Tara mentioned, Cat and Rabbit Bakery recently signed a lease. So they're known as being the cake window on 6th Avenue in Tacoma. They've won a bunch of awards, been written up in the Seattle Times as a reason to leave Seattle and venture down south. And they sell cake by the slice. So they are moving in where B King's was located over on Stewart, and are starting to work on their tenant improvements right now to build up their bakery. So their plan is to sell at least cake by the slice as well as their cinnamon rolls, which they only sell on Sundays right now, and have lines around the block and then some for their Sunday morning cinnamon rolls. We also have a new wine bar that's going to be opening called the Lazy Ballerina. It's right here. It's across from the park and right next to City Hall, in an empty space, pretty much adjacent to City Hall. And she's in the final stages of that. So she's hoping to be open by the end of the year. We also have a new ice cream shop, as Tara mentioned. It's a small batch ice cream shop. I think the name of it is going to be Lick. And so hopefully we'll hear from her at some point in the future. She just signed a lease and she'll be right near the Rose restaurant downtown.
She's texting me right now. She's almost just a point where she can log on. So we will hear from her.
Well, and I would just say that, she was one of those that was, she had reached out, and I suggested the Pierce County Business Accelerator Program, and she took that and just graduated from it. And so it's great to see that some of our businesses who went through the accelerator program are graduating and signing brick and mortar leases. So exciting. And then to round it out, we have a balloon shop opening in downtown Puyallup. That is going to do all sorts of like fancy balloon stuff. And so they're right next to Atomic Records, our new record shop. So a lot of really interesting stuff happening in downtown. Beyond that, the AOB lot, the city-owned property that's behind the library. I don't know if any of you have seen, they have their sales office open for condo sales. They've named it the Ezra. It's a beautiful building. Come check out, either look at the Ezra. I can drop the link in here for their online link, or drop by their sales office at some point. You can see some of the concepts and learn about that project. And then the Cornforth Campbell, the other site that the city owns downtown, we have a consultant who's come on board to work on development strategies for that site. So we had an architect and a development consultant who walked the property last week and are going to start drawing up some stuff. So you should be seeing more on that. And hopefully the environmental cleanup that's been going on for the last 20 years might be nearing completion pretty soon. So hopefully I'll have more to report on that at some point, and the Department of Ecology might actually give us the thumbs up to move that forward. We also have our downtown streetscape project that is in the final stages at the moment. The consultant will be sharing the top 10 projects, the final projects, with City Council at the end of this month. And then we're moving into the phase of making some of those projects happen and working on funding for other projects. You know, I think the other thing that I would say in the construction and development side is that we've got a lot of stuff coming up out of the ground right now, and a lot of interest, a lot of money that we're seeing being put into the community. For example, Good Samaritan Hospital is working on a campus master plan right now to add a second hospital tower, which is a pretty huge project. And they're also working with the state right now to get the approval to add those additional hospital beds. The Sound Transit parking garage is nearing completion, and they're looking at a late fall opening of the parking garage next to the Sounder station in downtown Puyallup. And the cold storage facility that had that fire almost exactly a year ago that everybody remembers, closed down a good portion of the city for a while. That is starting the redevelopment process. And so there was a buyer on board who was going to build something. The buyer backed out, and the property owner decided that they're going to build it themselves. And so they're looking at building either a warehouse or manufacturing facility, and are putting their feelers out there now to see what sort of interest there might be and whether they want to maintain the rail line going into it. And then I would say on the economic front, you know, the fair is underway right now. It's going strong. If anybody's gone to the fair, it's been packed every day, which is awesome. It was super fun watching the rodeo parade last Friday. You know, there's nothing like releasing a whole bunch of bulls in the middle of downtown and trying to convince them to not stop and eat the flowers along the way. And let's see. And then August, our sales tax has been better than the last couple of months. You know, as a city that has a lot of our general fund budget coming from sales tax, we track it very closely. And the couple of months previous to August were not as great as they had been. And August this year came in nearly identical to August last year and August of 2019. So hopefully that means that people got a little spooked maybe, but are feeling more confident again in their spending habits. So we'll definitely keep on tracking that. And I think that's it for the moment.
Gosh, we are so grateful that you sit in the seat that you do for Puyallup, just attracting businesses and just that great first face and voice. Helping those folks navigate, and your, great Rolodex that you have connecting folks is, again, congratulations to your 3 years in your position. You've just done such a great job, and we're very lucky to have you as a partner, collaborator, ally. Thank you. I'm going to say, though, you're going to need to recruit a clown school with ice cream, cake shops coming, balloon shops coming to Puyallup. We need clown school, I think. All right. Anyone have any questions for Meredith? Okay. Well, Senator Gildon, good morning. I'm so happy to see you. We've got Representative Jacobson here as well. So love to hear what you're doing this time of year.
All right. Well, great. So this has been a wonderful brief. I haven't been able to come in about a month to this, so I'm glad to be here. I think we may also need a couple of extra gyms with all the cakes and ice creams and all that other stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to be really brief. This tends to kind of be the dead zone for things going on in the state legislature because we're coming up to an election and everybody's got their eye on that right now. But a couple of important dates that I'd like to share with you, and one of them that I'm really excited about is September 27th. we are having our first in-person meeting of the Senate Ways and Means Committee since I've been in the Senate. And so I'm really excited to get back down into Olympia and actually, be amongst everybody face to face in the Senate chambers. Gone through 2 legislative sessions and I've never had a chance to be in the Senate committee rooms. So that's going to be very exciting. Like I said, we've got an election coming up soon. So timelines on that. October 21st, you're going to start getting ballots in the mail. So it's coming up really fast. October 31st, that is the last day that you can register by email or online. So if you haven't registered, or your friends or family, they can do that by mail or online through October 31st. Another important thing about October 31st is that is the last day of the state of emergency. So Governor Inslee has said he is going to expire the state of emergency after around 900 days on October 31st. So that's a very big day for us. And then finally, November 8th is Election Day. So you got to make sure we get everybody out to vote. However you vote, vote. It matters. So we talked a little bit. I enjoyed the briefing from Puyallup City about permits and permitting and trying to streamline. Because right now what's happening is all of the legislators are starting to develop their legislative agenda. And I've got to say that expediting permits and increasing our housing supply is certainly one of my priorities, as well as expanding access to affordable childcare. And it's not just my particular issue, but this has risen. I don't know if you can read this right here, but this has risen up to, this has visibility from the Pentagon now. They're calling housing and childcare a crisis in Washington state. And that really has implications for all of our service members. If the service members can't come here and find a place to live or find housing, childcare, so that the service member can actually go to work, that has some national security implications. And it could really alter the way that JBLM operates, because what they'll do is they'll just divert those service members to different locations across the United States, which has economic impacts to us, certainly. So that's going to be a big priority of mine this next year. But if there are priorities that you think of, feel free to reach out to us. As a matter of fact, please reach out to us sooner rather than later to give us time to work any bits of legislation that you may have in mind, that you may feel is necessary, because we've got to have time to run it through the various stakeholder groups and make sure that we get it right in time for session, which starts in January. And I'll just close off with, in addition to legislation, start thinking now, please put out feelers for any potential request for capital budget funding that may need to come to our area. Each member gets to request a little bit of, member projects. Some of them are smaller, some of them are larger. For example, we were able to get a new kitchen in the VFW, put a new roof on the Eagles Club, or the Elks, stuff like that. We've done some work with the city of Puyallup for some infrastructure improvements. But if there's things that are on your mind, please reach out to us sooner rather than later. Don't wait until January when the session begins to come up with those requests. But I think that was about all that I wanted to say.
Oh, well, thank you. The childcare crisis, it keeps surfacing at our chamber, conferences too. The president of our chamber association of 18 states regionally, predicted 2 years ago that this was something that chamber should get in front of, because it's real, and the way that we're working now has just created, quite a hurdle, quite a challenge there. So I hadn't read that Ranger headline, nor had it been risen to a surface, that way too. So we'll have to put our heads together and collaborate on what kinds of solutions we might be able to come up with in our community as well. Thanks for that report. Hey, I've got 2 more businesses, so sorry we're doing a little bouncing around, but again, I want to be respectful of these businesses that so quickly, turned around and were able to make themselves available. We have Christy Martin from Catfinated on the line as well. I'm very anxious to hear about this. Yes, you heard that right, Catfinated. So Christy, if you want to go ahead and pop on, we'd love to introduce you as well. And then I also have Heidi from the ice cream shop that we'll follow up with right after. So hello, Christy.
Hi, thank you so much for the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Christy Martin, and I am one of the co-owners of Catfinated. Catfinated is a cat cafe. A cat cafe is not a new concept. We are actually located over on 6th Avenue in Tacoma, not very far from Cat and Rabbit Cake Shop. And a cat cafe is part coffee shop. The other part of our building is what we call the Cat Lounge, which houses free roaming adoptable cats. So we work with the Humane Society to find very wonderful cats and kittens homes while people can come in and have coffee, tea, a cat themed beer, kitty cake pops, whatever they wish, and come into the Cat Lounge and meet the cats, play with the cats. We also hold events inside the Cat Lounge. We do yoga, kitty yoga on Sunday mornings, as well as a reading session for children who are emerging readers. They can come in and build their reading confidence by reading to the cats. And we are also starting purr and paints, which are basically art classes with cats running all around. We have to be very cognizant of the paint. We're working through all of those issues when talking about kittens, but it's really fun. We're really excited to come to Puyallup. We will be moving from Tacoma to Puyallup. We are taking over the space on the corner of Pioneer and South Meridian. That used to be the old pawn shop there on the corner. We're really excited to be there. Our landlord and I are working through our tenant improvement projects. Things are already happening inside that space, and we are hoping to open early next year.
Wow, that's awesome. Representative Jacobson, your face was priceless.
What a country.
I know. That's great. We've got all kinds of attractions here in Puyallup. This is getting pretty fun around here. Awesome. Any questions for Christy?
I have a question. I'm just wondering what drew, as you mentioned that you're closing the Tacoma location and relocating to Puyallup. What drew you to Puyallup?
Sure. So I grew up in the area and I still continue to live here. I also work for Multicare. I work at Good Sam Hospital. So the ability to move my business closer to home was a big factor. Our lease is up in March at our space on 6th Avenue. So we had been discussing if we would like to renew in that space or if we would like to be looking for something that allows our cat lounge to be a bit larger for financial reasons. Kind of leaving Tacoma and coming to Puyallup was also really appealing. So my business partner, who also works for Multicare and lives in Puyallup, she and I just had lots of conversations about what Tacoma has to offer. And Tacoma has been really good to us, even through opening in December of 2019, right before the pandemic. It's been wild, but Puyallup was always a really big draw, and the ability to come down by Pioneer Park and be in such a perfect location for us on the corner is really, it sealed the deal.
I love it. I love it. We've got dog-friendly beer halls and cat-finated cat coffee lounges. This is great. This is great. We're going to, there is a chamber that has membership for pets. So gosh, might need to add that as another arm to the chamber.
Hey, if you want a cat on a leash, we can make that happen.
I love it. Okay, well, any other questions before we introduce Heidi? Well, thanks, Christy, for being here, and thanks for your great work at Good Samaritan as well. We are anxious to see you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You bet. All right. Good morning, Heidi. Thanks for jumping on. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, you guys, I'm in my car, so bear with me. This was very last minute, but I'm excited to be invited. So thank you. Apparently the word is out that ice cream is coming to Puyallup.
Yeah.
We have officially signed our lease and we get our keys October 1st. And we will be called Lick Homemade Ice Cream. All of our ice cream is homemade, small batch. We're trying to use a lot of local ingredients where we can. Obviously, an Oreo is not local or natural, but that's kind of the feel that we're really going for. I did some stuff or been playing with Russ Pika's berries. So we did some stuff this summer with raspberries and blackberries and fresh strawberries from him. So that was kind of fun. And I found a little guy who's doing honey. So I'll be grabbing honey from him and just trying to keep as much local ingredients as we can. Our dairy will be out of Kent. So yeah, just small batch and small town ice cream shop, nothing too fancy, but really wanting to tie into the community that we live in, where we live in Puyallup. My daughter currently is a senior at Puyallup High School.
Yay.
My son already graduated from Puyallup High School, and just trying to keep that community feel is really all we're trying to do with it, and have fun. We were originally, we've talked about it for about 5 years, and we're originally going to use Olympic Mountain ice cream, which if anyone's had that, it's very good ice cream as well. But we just kind of figured if we were going to go for it, let's just make it and do it. So
oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Heidi, if you need a tester for the Pika berry ice cream,
all right,
any of those berries, I'm local, I'm available, I'm in.
You're the berry
I love
queen.
it. I love tasters. So,
well, Heidi, before you logged on, we were talking about the balloon shop that's coming to town, Cat and Rabbit, the cake shop. We got ice cream. I said we need a clown school or something because the circus is coming to town.
I know. I'm so excited. All the new fun businesses. It's cool to see. So,
yeah,
I know we bounced around between Puyallup and Sumner because both are great areas.
Oh, absolutely.
So. But and then we'll be located, we're taking over the Spruce Barber Shop, so next to the Rose Cafe and in between basically the Rose Cafe and the Pink Chandelier across from Bank of America. So it'll be
good.
A
nice job getting that space semi-ready, so I could see how that could turn into an ice cream shop rather nicely. That's great.
So who knows with permitting and health department and build out, but nothing says ice cream like December or early January. So hopefully we'll be up and running by then, and that'll give us some time to get our feet wet and work through the kinks. So
nice. Well, I'm certainly going to circle back to you and, Christy and Anna. There's, I would love to have you come to one of our economic development committee meetings.
Perfect.
We're, really using all of you as real, case studies, if you will, just trying to help navigate that process, understand where the hurdles were, and just, again, try to get in front of being helpful to that process. So
absolutely.
I will connect with you and definitely come by and see us at the chamber, because you've got about 550 other businesses that'll love to wrap their arms around you. So
I know. Well, I have you guys on my list. I just haven't gotten there quite yet. So I kind of
I got to you first.
I know, you beat me to it. I love it.
No worries. All right. Well, thanks to Meredith. Again, that's how it should be happening, right?
Meredith is amazing. She's awesome.
Oh, I love it. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other questions?
All right.
All right. Well, thanks again for making time for us, pulling over in your car. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You guys have a great day. Thank you for everything.
You bet. All right. Representative Jacobson, I know we kind of went from Senator Gildon and hopped around, but if you have anything to add, please do so.
Yeah, I love following Senator Gildon. He always just says all the right words. It's like following Dean on the city council. It was great. We in the House will probably be in person, although we are not as forward about that as the Senate. So I only was in for the last 2 years down in Olympia only for 8 days. So I am
Ready.
Really stoked to be in person, and I'm hoping. Capital projects, yeah, we need to start working on those right now. We've already got some maybe suggestions coming in, particularly if something is in Puyallup South Hill. I feel like they get a little less represented because in Puyallup city limits, we have the council advocating for them. So those are good. Working on legislation right now. So if anyone has any ideas, always willing to meet, always reach out, no problem. And the election is coming up, and not allowed to talk about that too much, but it's a big part of my days. So that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're excited, to have our legislative breakfast in December again. And that's where we really hope to invite, some industry lobbyists. So I'll be reaching out to a lot of our chamber members to make sure that, we know who your lobbyists are, because, your particular industry may have special interests that may not be on our radar as much. And we want to be made abreast of those issues that you're battling, and to do so in conjunction with our representatives before they head off to session in January is a great way to, also help them garner support for the bills and that they're sort of chasing as well. So excited for that. I know we have a date. I don't know it off the top of my head, but it's the first week in December. It'll replace our GAC meeting. So that's an exciting thing. And then new for us, November 16th is the targeted date for our State of the Cities. And so we kind of pulled out of our economic forecast that aspect where we check in with the city managers, city mayors, but we also want to, bring in our, Chief Engel, our police, our fire. And then I'm going to have a quick panel of businesses that have recently moved here. So we can just very quickly hear why and who they are and get an introduction. So that should be an exciting luncheon, State of the Cities, November 16th. All right. Well, anyone else that we're going to check in with that I might be missing? We kind of cruised through a lot of people. Jolene, yes.
It's so exciting hearing about all of the new businesses coming to Puyallup, and I would be amiss if I didn't talk just briefly about some other Sumner businesses that are opening. Just in the downtown core, we've had 6 new businesses open or are on the cusp of opening within the next couple of weeks. We've got Eternal Soul Bowl, which relocated from Tacoma to downtown Sumner. They're located on Cherry. JoJo and Coco opened a second or third location on Main Street. Sun Plants and Craft Goods opened just last week, I think. Ashley's Consignment opened another location from downtown Puyallup. They're now also in downtown Sumner. And believe it or not, we've got a Main Street tattoo parlor now. Very prominent on Main Street. It's a beautiful facility and a great addition. And Valley Social Wine Bar is opening in October. Great. And then outside of the core, the downtown core, I don't know all the new businesses, but Untamed Muddy Soda opened in the Fred Meyer strip mall. So we're really excited to welcome all of them. And if you need connections to any of those business owners, Tara, for any of these upcoming happenings, I'm happy to connect you.
Yeah. And again, had it not been so last minute, I think we could have been able to grab some of those. So we'll do this again. This has been fun. And I think, again, it's a great way to introduce them to the community as well. And hey, I mean, wine bars speak more of my sweet tooth language than cake. I'm sorry, but I do love wine. But yeah, this is great. I'm so excited about what's happening with both. I think the other thing Sumner is doing so well is the facades. And really just the look of what's happening. We're starting to see that in Puyallup, but Sumner really hit it out of the park. That Main Street is so attractive. I know I had asked last GAC a little bit of who's behind that, if that's, sort of, the developers, just, I'm thinking of the JoJo and Coco, sort of that whole area there. Do you know much about how that came to be?
Yeah, I think that that was largely on the property owner just in that particular case. And then the Masonic building where the tattoo parlor and Ashley's located, that was also the property owners undertaking. The Sumner Main Street Association offered a facade improvement matching grant fund. So we were able to give out $2,500 for property owners, businesses that were going to make facade improvements. And we're hoping to do that type of program again. It's 4 businesses applied, and each one of them was able to get their facade improvement matching grants.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Well, good. Well, you're also on the Main Street board, Sumner Main Street board. And I don't know if you have any news yet, or if we're going to bring you back for an introduction to your new executive director when that happens.
Yes, that is pending. There's an offer letter out. So we will, when we have someone on board, we'll certainly circle back.
Awesome. Okay. Well, anything else here for the good of the order? All right, well, I'm going to let you guys out 5 minutes early. I see some contact information that's popping into the chat. Anna, thank you for that. We're very excited, and I will certainly connect you, follow up with some contacts with Workforce Central. And hey, thanks everybody for rolling out the red carpet for these new businesses. They're definitely the fabric of our community, the community that we're all striving to be thriving with. So thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tara.
Oh, you bet. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
You bet.